Good morning, it's Eddie in Tampa Bay from the Golden Dome Source Theater and iHeart Media here as we give a send-off to Ted Webb on his final day on the air here after we've been on together here for 24 years and a lot more years before that Teddy's been working. How many? 54?
54 and 5 months.
And 5 months.
That 5 months is very important.
You got to get that right. Hey, we got a very special guest who's joining us right now on the phone. And would you like to introduce yourself, sir?
This is Earl Pitts. Somebody, could I just go? Yeah, I've been talking to her this morning. I was on, let's see. Yesterday I was on tape. And am I live now?
You're live.
I know. Well, yeah, when you call the phone, I must be live.
How are you, Earl?
I'm doing okay. Dude, I can't believe it. You're all this. I mean, 54 years ain't nothing. You should have been in radio 100 years, didn't we?
We agree.
How's Pearl?
Oh, Pearl's doing all right. She's pretending to be asleep, but I'm laying right here next to her. So I'm not laying. I'm sitting up. I'm already dressed.
And Sandra D. and Earl Jr.
Sandra D. is Sandra D. I haven't seen her in about a month. She does live here. So, but we're all feeling pretty good about Ted and his new. What are you going to be doing now, Ted? What's your new career going to be?
Every day is going to be Saturday.
Every day, but every day is going to be Saturday except Sunday because you got to go to church on Sunday morning. But then, see, by Sunday afternoon, it's Saturday again.
Yes, sir.
That's how that works.
That's how it works, man.
Well, I tell you, man, we all love you, and we'll miss you, but we'll somehow stumble on. The world will stumble on, but we will miss you.
I am going to miss you too, but that'll give us a little more time to get together up on the river.
And you better believe it. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I got a dock chair picked out to use. So, got to be careful like that. And anytime you're ready, you let me. Matter of fact, you don't have to be ready. We're gonna come kidnap you and bring you up here to the radio.
There you go. I'm ready for it.
All right, boy.
All right, brother. God bless you, and thank you for all the entertainment you provided us over the years, man. We really enjoy you.
Man, I almost came out of character. Yeah, I enjoy you too. I'm just sitting here. I'm just thinking about just all the fun we have had and how much fun we're going to have now.
Absolutely.
All right, then. Thanks, man.
God bless you, Earl.
The one and only Earl Pitts. He is an incredibly popular guy all over the country.
That is one crazy bastard, I'm going to tell you.
He is that. He was in the Gasparilla Parade with us last year.
Yeah.
Got on our float, was with us on our float down here. And, of course, people looking at him say, that's Earl Pitts. Nice-looking guy. In fact, he met Pearl with him. Didn't look anything like Pearl.
Yeah.
He just lives up the road a piece in Dunellen.
Dunellen, yeah.
And retired down there from radio. Can we tell who he is?
Earl Pitts is really Gary Burbank.
Gary Burbank from Cincinnati, WLW.
Radio Hall of Famer, and one just really nice, super human being, man. I mean, that guy is just a class act.
Oh yeah, his morning show is incredible. And I remember back in the late 70s when Gary McHenry and I were doing a morning show, and we were tops in the ratings. And back then they had Arbitron and all that stuff. Didn't have the kind of equipment and stuff they have today for ratings. But he came to 620 WDAE. Was it 620 then?
No, it was 1250.
1250. It was 1250 WDAE. They were our big competitor, and we were beating them, but they played music back then, and he came in and was there for, I think it was 6 months. And, of course, they started eating away at our ratings. I thought, man, we're going to die. Fortunately, he went back to Cincinnati, and I was the happiest guy in town to see him go.
If we can get Aaron Jacobson to raise his hand, because Dave Green was trying to find you in the crowd. Aaron, can you raise your hand there? Dave Green's trying to get in touch with you. Dave Green, former place kicker and punter for the Buccaneers, ladies and gentlemen. Raise your hand, Dave.
early days.
When you see those highlight films of them getting an attempt to try a field goal and the ball fumbles and it rolls down the road, that's the guy that was there trying to hold the ball.
Thanks for that.
You're welcome. I did a national show with Dave called Sporting Goods Direct about back in the 90s. What was it, 90, 91, somewhere in there?
It had to be. I can't remember exactly.
And I used to love to crack them up. I have this little gimmick called a fart bag. And I used
We can't say that on the air. It's a fart cushion. It's a whoopee
fart cushion. And I used to use it on sports rap on a lot of my guests. I'd ask them a question and then I'd look at the monitor, and when the monitor was tight on them, I'd squeeze that fart and these guys would crack up, and I got him on that national show so many times.
It was bad. And I tell you, Ted, you're just so much of Tampa. I was in a celebrity golf tournament in Miami a few years ago, and Leslie Nelson was there.
Oh.
So I went up to Leslie and I said, Leslie, I'm Dave Green, Tampa, Florida, former Buccaneer. He pulls out his jacket and he yanked out one of those whoopee boxes or whatever.
That's the same one I had.
Yeah, he ripped one off and said, say hi to Ted Webb. I mean, what makes him think I would even know you in the first place? But that's how big you are in Tampa. And, I'm just so proud of you and honored to have been invited here today. Thank you.
You were one of those guys that was early on in my sports days, and I wanted you up here, man.
Yeah, well, we did a lot together. We did a lot of fun. Photography and everything else. And I tell you, I'm gonna miss the availability to turn on the radio and hear your voice in the morning. But I just love that we still have the availability of having you around. So I think you're making a very smart decision. It's a tough one, but love you, man. And you're doing the right thing. We're going to miss you.
Thank you very much, Dave.
We've had a blast.
We have, man. Yeah. We've had a blast off mic, haven't we? Remember the karaoke parties at my house?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of things I don't want to remember. But we did good and a great time, and it's been an honor.
Thank you,
Stay
Dave.
in touch, all right?
Thank you, Dave.
Jack, thank you. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. I'm surprised.
Dave Green.
Recently celebrating 0-26. The good old days. But anyway, we're at 18 minutes after 6, and we're going to take a break right now and go to Chris Trinkman in the newsroom.
And now, WFLA presents Webb's World, calling it like he sees it. Here's Ted Webb.
You know, this has always been one of my shortcomings in life, and that is saying goodbye. It's always difficult to part ways with a team that you love and an audience that you adore. But it's time. I'm 69 years old.
Oh no, do that.
And I can't always answer the bell the day after dialysis. It's been a fun run of 54 years and 5 months. Fun from the beginning to the end. Fun from playing DJ to sportscaster to talk show host to morning show host. I've had fun. I've always had the motivation for not embarrassing myself nor my family. And except for a few times, I think I've done pretty well. I've been asked what my high spot in the 54-year career is, but I can't come up with much more past the Ronald Reagan Jr. face-off a few years ago. And then there was an errant April Fool's prank that got way out of hand in 1976. But I was fortunate enough to disc jockey during the sexual revolution, do sports talk during the great football era, and do talk radio during the political revolution. How lucky can one guy be? This is not going away. I'll still be around plenty, but I'll be more rested. And that's what I need more than anything else right now, is just plenty of rest. Keep me in your prayers. I need them. So instead of saying goodbye, let's just say I'll see you soon. I love you all. This is not the end of AM Tampa Bay. This is the new edition of the show, and it's going to grow with its youth. I, for one, can't wait to hear the new edition with Jack, Aaron, Jeff, and Katie. It's going to be fun listening, and that's how I see it.
but he is going to continue to do Webb's World, we're happy to say. So that will stay on and on. And as you heard in Webb's World, there's one thing that he became rather famous, or I should say notorious for back then.
Yeah.
I don't know if we used the term going viral or not, but this one went viral. It went all over the country. But give it a listen when we had a little conversation with Ron Reagan Jr.
When I saw that, the impression that I walked away with, that, you know, you were trying to hint that perhaps, you know, he was affected with Alzheimer's while he was in the office and didn't do as good a job as he could have. I mean, you know,
Did you get that impression?
That's the impression.
Did you get that impression from reading the book or from hearing people talk?
I got the impression when I saw what was in the book when they were talking about it on different shows that you
so
had read.
You didn't actually read the book.
No, I didn't read the book when I got that impression.
Had you read the book, I think you would have a very different impression. We have to be very careful when we listen to second-hand kind of hearsay versions of what somebody's read.
Ron, given your track record and the way that you have treated your father over the years, okay?
Which would be what?
Which would be in a very disrespectful way.
Oh, am I talking to Ted? Which dendroid am I talking to?
You're talking to Ted, and there you go with the first name. But first of all, I want to say something.
There I go with the first name. It's Ted, right?
If I were your brother Michael, I would kick your ass from here to next Tuesday.
No, I'll tell you what, Ted. Next time I'm in Florida, down in Tampa,
set it up,
I'll drop by.
Set it up.
And you can try to do that, and we'll see how that works out.
We'll see how that works out, baby.
We will,
set it up. Or maybe I can travel to where you're at.
Good. Come up to New York this afternoon. I'll be here.
Your mouth is right, and checks your ass can't cash.
A little man. I had no idea that I would be talking to such a small dendroid today. But that's all right. You're entitled to your opinions. But I would suggest that you actually read the book, and then you'll know what you're talking about.
I'm going to buy it when I get off work, because I tell you, on occasions we run out of toilet paper.
Bring us back to some kind of civility before we upset a lot of left-wingers.
Am I talking to Jack now?
The day I get my ass whipped by a ballerina, buddy.
Jack is Ted like this all the time?
Oh, he is as charming like this all the time. That's why I love him. It's 6:30 on AM Tampa Bay. And we've got a full house and more here in the Golden Diamond Source Theater at iHeart Radio, and that's on Gaiety Boulevard in Tampa. If you want to stop by here sometime this morning, we've got a lot of things going on here and a lot of people that are chiming in. By the way, I was talking earlier about your dog Rocket over in this lady's lap and what might happen. And somebody brought a bunch of these little bags. If it happens, you can scrape it off your lap and put it in the bag.
She came equipped. She's got some.
Oh, she's got some bags. Okay. Well, anyway, we got a lot of special guests here this morning. And one of them I think you will recognize right now is, would you sign in, Sheffy Baby?
His name was Teddy. He was a showgirl.
Sheffy Baby Miles, ladies and gentlemen.
Teddy, a true Tampa legend. I remember the first time I ever heard or knew who you were was WLCY back in the early 70s. And then being like anyone else in the Bay Area, growing up with radio was so important. Then you're over Q105. Teddy, you were like Visa. You were everywhere anyone wanted to be. Although I met Jack in '89 when I first started in television, I joined 970 in the early 90s at a time that radio will never see again. That building was exciting to be in. But one of the greatest moments in my life was when I first got to 970 and I got to meet everyone and I met you, Ted. And I still get excited when I say this. You knew me. I'll never forget driving home that day and just saying to myself, I even called my mom, that you knew who I was. And I just can't tell you how exciting this has been for me. It's been an amazing ride. And once Teddy, when you took me underneath your wing, let me tell you, when you go out with someone like Teddy, when Teddy introduces you to someone in Tampa, it's like a mafia thing. It's like a boss or something. They take you completely different and seriously. You introduced me to so many good people.
like Bobby the Brain Heenan, but like on Saturday mornings in 7th Avenue with Buster Agliano, they were so Ted, who wouldn't be at Buster Agliano's on a Saturday morning?
Well, that was a great gathering place, and Buster never wanted to charge us for our seafood. I don't know how the hell he stayed in business that long.
No, that was just, it was great meeting so many people. I can't tell you how much I appreciate everything you have done for me in the Bay Area. You've been like a big brother, and no matter where I've traveled, from Thailand to Europe, Costa Rica, whenever I come back, I come home to see you because you're a boss, Teddy. I want you to know, people have asked me for years, what is Teddy like off the air? I always tell them, if you think he's a cool cat on the air, you have no idea how cool he is off the air. Ted, you are a true brother, and even though I love you, I will always be first a fan.
There you go.
Thank you, Sheffy. God
Chef
bless you,
Miles.
man. Give him a nice hand.
We got somebody else that wants to check in here with you right now, and this is a guy you remember back from. Well, let him just check in himself here. Who we got?
Good morning, Jack. Good morning, Ted. Good morning, Tampa.
Scott Shannon.
Scott Shannon.
How you doing, Scott?
The creator of the Q Morning Zoo, which was the greatest thing in radio back then.
I was fortunate enough to be a radio personality. I was paired up with a very talented young man by the name of Kluber Wheeler, and we were over at Q105. I'm not from Tampa Bay, so I had no idea who in the hell Jack Harris was, let alone Ted Webb. But it didn't take long before I knew the both of them, and Jack was nice enough to ignore all the things we said about him on the Q Morning Zoo. And finally, I wound up working with Ted Webb. I was fortunate enough to have him, and he schooled me in the art of navigating Tampa Bay and the nightclubs and the bars. And damn near killed me doing it, but I got to meet a lot of people, and I found out, about what went on in Tampa Bay, and he introduced me, like your last guest, to many, many people, and I was fortunate to be able to work with Ted. And I'm just sorry you're leaving the airways, my friend.
It's a decision that I had to make, Scott. I mean, I got sick in July and haven't been well since, so.
Well, even here in New York, I know what's going on with you. I keep track of you and also Jack. And I'm still on the radio up here. I'm doing a morning show.
Congratulations for taking CBS. Congratulations for taking CBS FM to #1.
And I've been very lucky, and you know how important your health is. I still got mine, thank God, knock on wood. And I just wanted to take time from doing my show to call your show and say congratulations to you and your incredible career, and the fact that you had all this stardom and success, and you're still the guy next door.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Scott. We'll hear you introducing somebody here in a few minutes.
Scott Shannon will introduce Sean Hannity.
Sean Hannity every morning. That's Scott Shannon you hear, the creator of the Q Morning Zoo and a morning man up in New York City now. And I remember
Hannity's on right now.
Jeff found it.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Ted.
Thank you, Scotty.
I got a great story about the first time I met him. I was sitting in at the press box, and this guy comes in, he taps me on the shoulder, and he says, you know who I am? I looked around, I said, no. And he said, I'm Scott Shannon, and I'm going to kick your butt. Said,
he didn't say it that way.
Well, sort of like that.
He said, I'm going to kick your ass.
And anyway, I thought, well, what's this all about? And so I stood up, and I thought he wanted a fight. I said, you want to do it in here or outside? Was that when you were there with those two wrestlers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who got in a fight. Well, he was interviewing one wrestler. He was interviewing another wrestler came in, and they got in a fight while Teddy was doing the show over there across the room. And I'm sitting there.
Those punches were coming like very close to my face, and I was trying to get out of the booth, and my leg was trapped underneath both of them, so I couldn't get out. They would have needed the jaws of life to get me out of there.
Well, I was on the other side of the room with Scott Shannon, wondering if I'm going to be in a fight on that part of the room, and I said, well, do you want to go outside or do it here? He says, no, I'm starting the Q Zoo, and we're going to kick your butt on the air. And I said, oh, okay, lots of luck.
He was a ballsy guy. He came up to the press box one day when we were doing a sports talk show there, and during the commercial break, he called me over. He says, you're going to come work for me next week. I said, I am. Who are you? He says, I'm Scott Shannon. I'm putting together this thing called the Q Morning Zoo, and you're going to be part of it. And little did I know that they were closing down WNSI, and he knew that because he was part of the decision to close down NSI where I was working at the time, and sure as not, a week later I was working at the Q Morning Zoo.
And they were kicking our butt just a little later than that, too.
He was a fantastic boss, man.
He was a great guy. He and I used to go beer drinking at least once a week at the old Steak and Shake, or not Steak and Shake, Steak and Ale.
How come you still have your health? I compare what we did, and I'm going, I'm getting all sick now at this stage in life, and Jack is healthy as hell.
It's beer. Beer's good for you. Okay, we're going to take a break here at 6:49, and let's go to the newsroom and Chris Trinkman.
Rack your brain. Brought to you by Crown Eurocard.
All right, we have 3 categories: songs of the 60s, movies of the 80s, or songs of the 90s. If you want to play, 800-969-WFLA. That's 800-969-9352. Who's the first person on the line here?
We got John in Palm Harbor.
John, you're on Rack Your Brain. Songs of the 60s, movies of the 80s, or songs of the 90s. What's it going to be?
Let's try the songs of the 60s.
Songs of the 60s, 10 seconds worth. All right, what's the name of the song?
Is that Crosstown Traffic?
No, that's not Crosstown Traffic.
Hey, we're out of time here because we got a special guest over here that you know. Lanny Poffo.
Lanny Poffo, former professional wrestler and author. Ladies and gentlemen, Lanny Poffo. Give him a nice hand.
Sitting back there with Tanya Loida, Mama T from the From Under All-Stars, and we were crying tears of joy with everybody else, especially from Earl Pitts American.
Yeah, I hate to rush you, Lanny, but we're about out of time, so let's hear this.
As Tampa Bay turns its attention to Ted and reflects on the man he has been, Teddy to me has been more than a friend. I consider him my next of kin. He can't take the place of my brother or father, but he is a man I admire. I'm wishing him health, satisfaction, and happiness more than he'll ever require. Ted Webb has been such a big part of our lives, we hate to see him give it up. Viva la vida siempre, mi amigo. Live it up, live it up, live it up.
And we will take a break.
Maybe not.
I think.
I want to play Rack Your Brain.
Okay. Well, we got more surprises, but no, we got a surprise there.
970 WFLA now brings you the Rush Morning Update. Brought to you by Audubell Hearing Aids. Plug into Rush again later today at noon.
Before President Trump delivered a State of the Union address, Politico wrapped up the spin that President Trump would get plenty of and $1.5 trillion tax cut he signed into law in December. But Politico said that the short Republicans have yet to make the sale on the tax bill. It's not clear how much the new law will help them in November. Now, this is all the Democrats and their drive-by allies like Politico. They're standing on the sidelines trying to convince themselves the American people